Hello children. Hello. How are you, Jude? Abraham, Aricha, Mary, Yemaya Rose. God bless you all. I've got a lovely story for you today. I hope you're sitting comfortably. This is an old English myth, a lovely story, and it's about Dick Whittington and his cat. You can see his cat up the top of Highgate, Islington. I think there's a pub there and there's a cat. His cat's outside. Hundreds of years ago, there lived a poor orphan boy called Dick Whittington. His only possession was his cat, but everyone in his village looked after him. So he never wanted for a meal or clothes on his back. In return, he worked hard whenever he was needed. Now Dick's greatest dream was to visit the great city of London, where he had heard the streets were paved with gold. One day a wagoner pulled into the village to give his 2 horses a drink. Dick offered to rub the horses down, and before long he was telling the wagoner about his dreams of visiting London. "Well, you must be in luck," smiled the wagoner, "for that is where I'm bound. Why don't you come with me, and I will drop you back here again tomorrow?" This was too good an offer to refuse, so Dick and his cat set off with the wagoner for London. When they arrived, Dick looked round in astonishment. Never before had he seen such huge buildings all crowded so closely together, and there were so many people. Dick set off to explore, promising the wagoner that he would be back in the evening. The pavement certainly did not appear to be made of gold, but he kept on thinking he should just try round the next corner, and then the next and the next, and before long Dick realized that he was lost. He stumbled into a doorway, and worn out with hunger and worry, he fell asleep. Now, as luck would have it, Dick had chosen a very good doorway to sleep in. The house belonged to a rich merchant, Mr. Fitzwarren, who was kind and willing to help anyone in need. So when he came home later that evening, Mr. Fitzwarren took Dick and his cat indoors and told the cook to give him supper. The next morning Dick told Mr. Fitzwarren the whole story. Smiling, Mr. Fitzwarren told Dick that as he had found the streets of London were not paved with gold, and indeed life there was hard. "But you look like a strong boy. Would you like to work for me, Dick?" he asked. "You'll have a roof over your head and dinner every day in return for helping in the kitchen and the stables." Dick was delighted and soon settled into the household. He worked hard and everyone liked him, except the cook. She gave him all the horrible jobs in the kitchen and would not let him have a moment's rest. Whenever one of Mr. Fitzwarren's ships went to sea, it was custom for everyone in the household to give something to the ship's cargo for luck. Dick had only his cat. He sadly handed her over. The ship was at sea for many months before they came to the port in China. The captain and the crew went ashore to show the emperor their cargo. The emperor and captain sat down to a banquet before discussing business, but to the emperor's embarrassment the meal was ruined by the rats that ran everywhere, even over the plates they were eating off. The emperor explained that they had tried everything, but nothing could rid the court of the plague of rats. The captain smiled. "I think I have the answer," he said, and he sent for Dick's cat. Within moments of her arrival there were piles of dead rats at the emperor's feet. He was so impressed that he gave the captain a ship full of gold just for the cat. Back in London, Dick's life was a misery. The cook was nastier than ever, and he didn't even have his beloved cat, so he ran away. But he'd not gone far before he heard the church bells ringing, and they seemed to say, "Turn again, Dick Whittington, thrice Lord Mayor of London." Dick didn't know what the bells meant, but he went back before the cook had even noticed that he was missing. Of course, when the ships came home, Mr. Fitzwarren gave Dick his fair share. He married Mr. Fitzwarren's daughter Jane and became Lord Mayor of London 3 times. He and Jane had many children and lots of cats. That was a nice story, wasn't it, children? All right, Jude, Abraham, Jad, Oricha Mary, Maya Rose. Love you. God bless. Bye-bye.